My name is Viviana Premazzi. I'm Italian from the north of Italy, but I live in Malta, the island in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea.
Why are you in Malta?
I left Italy in 2016. I ended up in Malta because I accepted a full-time job as academic manager for a private university. And I was not convinced at the beginning. I left Italy, like another Mediterranean country. As you know, I love like the US, the Anglo-Saxon style. But actually, Malta was really a great surprise because it is a Mediterranean country, but with a strong British Anglo-Saxon ending. So for me, it was kind of the perfect place. And I'm from the north of Italy, but I fell in love with the sea, the sun, and this like beautiful weather. So I worked there for 1 year for this university, but then they changed their plan, their strategy, but I love the island and I decided to stay. And it was also the right place for me to start my own business. Before I was self-employed in Italy, but then there I started my business, Global Mindset Development, that maybe I will explain you a little bit later. And so here I am, still loving the island and running my business there.
I'm really interested about your business. So please, can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, I call it Global Mindset Development because my background is in migration studies, integration, second generation identity and cultures. And so for me, I put together all like my background, my expertise and my studies. And for me, the idea was to help mainly companies, but then also organizations, university and individuals to develop a global mindset. So what I wanted to do was really to help my clients, so companies or individuals, to be aware of the cultural differences, but also be able to adapt or adjust without fears and to really enjoy the diversity and take the most out of it. So this is what we do through training, services, and consultancy, and like you name it.
What kind of innovation those times brought into your job?
For me, I thought about global mindset development since the beginning as something global. But then, as for many business, it was really like a boost for going global. And also, I started with like internship programs, so to host interns, and they were really an extreme. And I'm hosting them online, so I know that, and I'm sorry because they're missing like all like a big important part of like being abroad and living abroad. But at the same time, I really can work with them remotely and they are an incredible support for my business, but I also know that I'm doing something for them, try to help them to like, let's say, see all the opportunities offered by like the global world and the time we're living now, that yes, maybe you are stuck at home and you are like struggling, you're not sure about the future, but you can see something that is out there even if without traveling.
Tell us about your story.
I comes from a really small town in the border between like Italy and Switzerland. And in my family, we didn't travel much when I was a kid. But I always say like the word actually came to our city, to our small town through like the church or organizations. And so I think I started like my curiosity started there. And so as soon as I could, like when I was in high school, I went to the US for like the first English summer camp, summer school. And there is where my curiosity started. And then I tried to take all the opportunity for going abroad and discover more about like cultures and people. So I did my Erasmus in Portugal and that I did my thesis in Brazil. But for me, it was always important to connect with people. And I always, when I do like mentoring with students, I always tell them that it's so important, the connection that you do, especially when you make when you are abroad, because then one, they become their family for you abroad, and you need a family abroad because you don't have any social support. But then for the future, you can really travel. So nowadays, and people make fun of me, but I can really travel to most like every country in the world, and I have someone that I know there.
How important is networking for you?
Fundamental, and I'm a networking person, so I really like to connect with people. But I think it's also fundamental because I'm doing something, and you know, because it's close also what you do. So people need to experience before. It's not that you're selling a product that for people is easy to understand that they need it. There is also something that is more related to like awareness, self-awareness, and so it is extremely important. And then it is important also because not only for, let's say, selling what I do, but for also building partnerships. And another fundamental important thing for me, because I can cover something, but I cannot cover everything and I don't want to. So for me, partnerships are extremely important.
So what is your thought about leadership?
I think, as you mentioned, is a maybe new trending topic now in Italy, but it's something we're not used to. Also because like culturally and religiously, our background is not to be a leader, but what we are like taught in school is to be humble and to be like supportive. But there are many ways of being a leader. So I think in Italy, we have this misconception that being a leader is being a boss or someone with a bossy attitude. While there are many different ways of being a leader, like you teach servant leadership, and this is one way, and this is a way of considering leadership that is not close to our culture, but it is leadership and a leadership style. And so I think that for all my life, I kind of fight among this. So I'm a leader, I want to be a leader, or no, it's better for me to be humble and like follow. But then you find yourself actually being a leader, even if you don't want to be a leader, and you see yourself like taking decision and leading people and having people following and inspiring people to follow also your dream. I think this is what happened also recently with my interns. And when I heard them now say, oh, because we at GMD, I'm like, yes, like you're really part of this dream that I dreamt and you're like following. So I think, yeah, this is something extremely important for us as Italians to really divide like being a boss and being a leader and understanding what being a leader means.
Viviana has a dream with a deadline.
I have it, and I think it's really linked to what we just discussed, because I call it like Train the Trainer Plus program a few months ago, and the deadline is April when we will start the first course. And for me, it is like training trainers in my field that is not so well known and still need like to people to get in. But I call it Train the Trainer Plus, and I was inspired by the Erasmus Plus. And because it's not only training, is training plus mentoring, but plus the networking. Because as you mentioned, I really wanted to open my door and my heart, and so have all these like newbie or trainers that I will train, but to be part of project with me. So this is, I would say, is my dream with the deadline.
Thank you very much for your time. And it was great to hear your story and to share it with a quite a big international community that they will for sure enjoy your experience.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and like well done. Congratulations for your work. I'm really happy to be a part of it.